Hello students. In this video, we're going to dive into the essential topic of reproduction in organisms, a process that ensures the continuation of species by producing new individuals. Understanding how reproduction works is fundamental to grasping the life cycle of all living beings, and it's fascinating to see how diverse these processes can be across different species. Reproduction can be broadly classified into two main types: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. These methods allow organisms to maintain their populations and ensure the survival of their species over time. Let's begin with asexual reproduction, a process where a single organism produces offspring that are genetically identical, or nearly identical, to itself. This form of reproduction doesn't involve the fusion of gametes or sex cells, which makes it a straightforward and efficient method for many organisms. Asexual reproduction is particularly common among simpler organisms, such as bacteria, fungi, and some plants and animals. One of the most basic forms of asexual reproduction is binary fission. In this process, an organism, typically a single-celled one like bacteria, divides into two identical daughter cells. For example, when an E. coli bacterium reproduces, it simply splits into two, with each new bacterium containing the same genetic material as the parent. Another interesting method is multiple fission, where an organism like a plasmodium divides into several daughter cells at once. This usually happens in response to adverse environmental conditions, allowing the organism to produce many offspring quickly and survive challenging times. Then we have a budding, a method where a new organism develops from a small outgrowth, or bud, on the parent. This is commonly seen in organisms like yeast and hydra. The bud eventually detaches and becomes an independent organism, genetically identical to its parent. Fragmentation is another fascinating asexual reproduction method, especially in organisms like starfish and flatworms. Here, the parent organism breaks into fragments, each of which can grow into a completely new organism. Imagine a starfish that loses an arm. Remarkably, that arm can regenerate into a whole new starfish. Some organisms take regeneration a step further. For instance, certain starfish and planarians have such a high capacity for regeneration that they can completely reform their bodies from just a part of themselves. In plants, vegetative propagation is a common form of asexual reproduction, where new plants grow from parts like stems, roots, or leaves. For example, strawberry plants send out runners, which touch the soil and develop into new plants. Similarly, potatoes grow new plants from their tubers, and ginger does the same from its rhizomes. In some cases, humans have harnessed these natural processes through artificial vegetative propagation. Techniques like cuttings, layering, and grafting allow us to produce plants with desirable traits, such as better fruit quality or disease resistance. For instance, farmers might take a cutting from a healthy rosebush and grow a new plant identical to the original. Another advanced method is tissue culture, where small pieces of plant tissue are grown in a controlled environment to produce many identical plants. This technique is particularly useful in agriculture and horticulture, where uniformity and disease-free plants are crucial. A rather unusual form of asexual reproduction found in some animals is parthenogenesis, where an egg develops into a new individual without being fertilized by sperm. This process occurs in certain insects, reptiles, and fish, allowing females to produce offspring without a male. Now, moving on to sexual reproduction, a process that introduces genetic diversity, which is vital for the evolution and adaptation of species. Unlike asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction involves the fusion of gametes from two parents. This combination of genetic material from both parents creates offspring that are genetically unique. In plants, sexual reproduction usually takes place in flowers, which contain the reproductive organs. The male part, or stamen, produces pollen, while the female part, or pistil, contains the ovules. Pollination occurs when pollen is transferred from the stamen to the pistil, often with the help of wind, water, or animals. Once pollen lands on the stigma of the pistil, it germinates, and a pollen tube grows down to the ovule, allowing fertilization to occur. This process results in the formation of seeds, which can grow into new plants. In animals, sexual reproduction involves the production of gametes, sperm in males and eggs in females. Fertilization occurs when these gametes meet, usually within the female's reproductive system. The fertilized egg, or zygote, then undergoes multiple divisions to form an embryo, which eventually develops into a new individual. In humans, for example, the male reproductive system produces sperm in the testes, while the female reproductive system produces eggs in the ovaries. During fertilization, a sperm cell unites with an egg cell, resulting in the formation of a zygote. This zygote then implants itself in the uterus and develops into a fetus over a period of about 9 months, after which childbirth occurs. Menstruation is a crucial part of the reproductive cycle in females, marking the preparation of the body for a potential pregnancy each month. If fertilization does not occur, the thickened lining of the uterus is shed, leading to menstruation, and the cycle begins again. In summary, reproduction is a vital biological process that ensures the survival and continuity of species. Whether through the simplicity of asexual reproduction or the complexity of sexual reproduction, living organisms have evolved a variety of strategies to pass on their genetic material to the next generation. Now, here's a question for you to test your knowledge. What is the term for the reproductive cells involved in sexual reproduction? Please share your answer in the comments. The complete curriculum for Class 10 is available on our channel. Check out all the links provided in the description below. Please make sure to like, share, and comment for more such videos.